Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts. It's too damn early, but I'm here checking out, of course, the Mandalorian Season 3 finale. There's a lot of theories, a lot of speculation about what's going to happen in this episode based on what happened, of course, in Episode 7. And everybody just in general thinking about, okay, on top of what happened in Episode 7, like what could happen in the final episode? And for me, it's like this. Look, I'm excited. I'm curious to see what's going to happen. I think the Mandalorian Season 3 has been the weakest season of The Mandalorian in terms of comparing to Season 1 and 2. But overall, I've been enjoying Season 3. It's just been weaker for a couple of things. But I think after Episode 7, I definitely have higher hope that it's going to hopefully end strong because Gideon's return was definitely really interesting. All of the Mandalorians popping up, being together, and then there's Mandalorians actually on Mandalore still, and then Bo-Katan having a lot of, big moments in terms of making decisions and everything in Episode 7. And then leading, of course, to this gigantic battle and everything. And then, of course, finding out Moff Gideon's been on Mandalore, presumably this whole time since he's been missing. So there's a lot of things with that. So we'll see what happens. And, of course, Din got captured. And ended in a brutal way. We lost a Mandalorian who was very key to this show in terms of he didn't have a lot of screen time, but he went out being a fucking badass. It was Paz Vizla, or I forget his name, but it was a really great moment for sure. So I'm hopeful that this episode's going to be a great conclusion for Season 3. We'll see what happens. We know they're working on Season 4, so we know that whatever occurs in this episode, because there's been a lot of debate about could this be wrapping up the show until the film that Dave Filoni is going to be directing. Jon Favreau already said they're working on Season 4. Like, they've already, the scripts or whatever. So, we know there's more. We know there's more in terms of a continuation of The Mandalorian. So, we'll see what happens. So, here we go, guys. The Season 3 finale of The Mandalorian. Let's go.
They're sending up fighters to destroy the fleet. Evacuate everyone.
Oh, they're really following them? Just like, let's go after them. Boom! Did they really not see that coming? Are they idiots? Oh. He's gonna fight back, right? He has to. Ooh. Eat your own fire there, buddy.
No.
Thank God. Thank you. That was nice. That's a nice moment.
Will you cut me loose? Yes. I'm gonna need you to be brave for me, okay?
Oh?
We can't keep running.
That makes sense.
Take out Moff Gideon.
The return. Okay. They better be careful. They're out in the open like that. Oh shit. I'm hoping he made it in time to let them know.
But the Mandalorian has escaped.
He knows where they are.
R5. Come in, R5.
Oh.
I need you, buddy.
You gotta sneak in. Oh my gosh. You gotta sneak too.
That's one sibling command. The scouting party has been ambushed by Imperial weapons.
Yep, come on.
They're launching
Yep.
forces to destroy the fleet. Everyone go. Move. Go. Move.
Here we go. My God. It's about to go down, I think. Oh shit. Oh, he's the only one on there. Yeah. He's getting some. There you go. Oh yeah.
Command center is down there. Deactivate the first shield.
Yep. You shoot your own buddy there. Nice. Okay, he's gonna be smart now. Ooh. He's still going, I'm guessing this is an endless pit. I must become one of you to defeat you. Oh, shit. Police turn. I'm gonna slide in. Damn. Oh, there's a lot of them now. You're surrounded. I'm out of here. Bye. He's not gonna be in there. He already left. Well, who knows, right? Oh, yeah.
not Gideon.
He's trying to clone himself. Dude. Destroying the clones. I mean, that's smart. Jesus. That's cool.
You found underground gardens.
No. We planted farms.
Oh, that's
These are the
good.
old species indigenous to Mandalore.
I never knew the surface could still sustain plant life.
All they need is room to grow.
Badass. So they just, find out, there's plant life, you can garden, and now we're gonna go fight again. Here's the thing, what about all of the ships that were just sent by Gideon? They're gonna have to come back, right? Badass. They're gonna clash in the air. They're gonna, okay. Oh my god, dude, this is crazy. This is fucking cool. Seems like they're not as skilled as they are in the air. Careful. Oh, yeah. See, he knew that he was going to show up.
My clones
Yeah, well,
were finally going to be perfect.
did you expect him to leave them?
The best parts of me. I was isolating the potential to wield the
What? What?
and
That would be interesting.
into an unstoppable army.
You know that's not going to do nothing, really, right? You gotta... He really is built like a version of Vader. Dude, that's badass. I gotta admit. Fuck. Okay, this is definitely not fair. 3 of them and Gideon? Seriously? You leave him alone. No! Shit, separating them again. Here's the thing. The Mandalorians are working together as a coordinated effort, in a sense. And I don't think the enemies are. Grogu. Oh, shit. Okay, they're gonna... oh, my God. Dude. Eat rocket.
Bo-Katan creeds. What's it gonna be this time? Surrender?
Let's say, what weapon does he have to go against that? Keep running. About to say. Come on. Damn. They're really losing hard. I think it's more like an even fight. It's not really. Yeah, keep away. Keep away. Yeah, I forgot about this. Oh my god. That fucking shot, though.
Hand over the Darksaber, and I'll
No.
give you a warrior's death.
You ain't getting this fucking Darksaber back, boy.
The Darksaber is gone.
Shh. I'm about to say, oh my
You
god.
lost everything.
Mandalorians are stronger together.
Oh shit. He's going for that hole. Yep. Jesus Christ. Nope. Ooh. He's holding the fire back. Oh my gosh. That is an amazing thing. Oh my god. I figured that was gonna happen, but my god. I'll sit down now.
I swear on my name.
Do they know there's a Mythosaur down there? I mean,
Swear on my name and the names of the ancestors.
He is too young to speak, so he is too young to take the creed.
His parent gave permission. Couldn't he then become a Mandalorian apprentice? Then I will adopt him as my own.
it's so amazing.
Let it be written in song that Djarin is accepting this foundling as his son.
I think Grogu can sense the Mythosaur down there. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Look at all those Mandalorians. Lighting it again. Nice. Okay. Okay. A little walk. Is that Dave Filoni back there? Is that Dave? I think I just saw him.
Your kid sure likes the trophies.
Mm-hmm.
Go on.
You don't have the resources to protect the Outer Rim, let alone hunt down Imperial remnants. And I need work.
Let me think about it.
You already did. It's a good deal and you know it.
Steed, to a cabin just outside of town.
Cabin?
Lay low with your new family if you choose so.
Greetings, citizens.
Greetings.
I am IG-11, your new marshal of Navarre.
Look at his little house. That's amazing. Floating frog. And that was the season 3 finale of The Mandalorian. And I gotta be honest with you guys, I overall enjoyed the finale. There were some great moments, some great action, and some pretty interesting little things that occurred towards the end in terms of setting up potential storylines and everything within season 4 and all that kind of stuff in terms of where Mando and now his son, Grogu. I'm kind of conflicted on certain things. I'm kind of conflicted on a couple things. So, first things first, last week's episode, which was a great episode, was called The Spies. And there's a lot of discussion about, okay, who are the spies and what is that referring to in terms of, is it referring to there's going to be Mandalorians or particular individuals that betrayed everybody else in terms of work with Moff Gideon or whatever? Because it's called The Spies, not The Spy, but The Spies, so referring to more than one. So there's a lot of speculation and rumors of the Armorer being a spy and going against the Mandalorians and how she was conveniently not around and flying away with her ship or whatever back towards the fleet above the planet when all this was going down. So is she a spy, or is she one of them? There was no answer to the spies. Like, who are the spies or what is that? Because the opening of the episode had, I forget her name, but she only appeared in that one scene, but she was who had been rehabilitated. She was in that one episode where not a lot happened in terms of just a lot of time spent on Coruscant, and she betrayed, of course, that doctor who was working for, I think he was working for Moff Gideon, right? Yeah, I think within season 1 or something, but anyways, betrayed him, but then was telling Moff Gideon that in that opening of last week's episode about, what was occurring and everything and what info she had in terms of her new job. So she was a spy, clearly, but it said The Spies was the title. So there's no answer to who the spies were, because I don't know, there's a lot of theories. So I guess they're never going to address it, or maybe the spies never referred to exactly a Mandalorian betraying their own. I don't know. So that's something that's kind of conflicting. The second thing is, even though I overall enjoyed this episode in regards to the Moff Gideon stuff and the gigantic battles that were going on to take back Mandalore, I really wish we had more build-up to this moment. Because, yes, Moff Gideon's been around since season 1 of the show. He appeared, of course, towards the end of season 1. He's had enough appearances. However, I just feel like they could have done more with Moff Gideon this season leading up to his death. I think he is dead. I think he's actually dead. And I definitely want to talk about them clone stuff in a bit. But, I just feel they could have done more to set this up. Now, I'm not saying reveal Moff Gideon's been a Mandalore in, say, episode 4 of this season or whatever. That was a cool reveal towards the end of the season. But they could have done more to establish more of Moff Gideon's appearances and setting up this final confrontation. More of a setup in terms of, okay, we found episode 7. He's been on Mandalore this whole time. Maybe we could have had some sequences where he's confronting maybe Mandalorians at another point, confronting them where they're at in terms of maybe Navarro or whatever, and then eventually we find out where he's actually at in terms of this is where his home base is, because maybe he could have just made himself more known, or maybe he's sending his own troops or whatever. There's something they could have done more to establish him in the season, and then got to episode 7 and 8. But I will say, looks fucking badass in his Mandalorian armor and everything. But I'm just kind of conflicted on, man, they could have done more to establish Moff Gideon. Even though we knew he was in the background somewhere. We knew something was going on because he's missing. He never made it to his jail or trial or whatever. So we know something's up. But they could have done more to set it up. The third thing is, for me, is that, okay, so the Mythosaur. The only thing they really did with the Mythosaur this season, besides the reveal of the Mythosaur in episode 2 and being in the waters, is that they show the Mythosaur briefly for a quick second in this episode when Grogu was near the water, sensing a connection there. I'm guessing they're not going to be establishing the Mythosaur for a while, maybe, in terms of like them actually knowing about the Mythosaurs in the waters. I'm wondering if Bo-Katan will even tell them. I think she will have to tell them that she saw the Mythosaur in the waters that they were just at, right? So there's a lot of theories about the Mythosaur revealing itself or being called upon during the final battle here. That was a big theory. It didn't come true, but it does show there's a connection to the Force with the Mythosaur because the Mythosaur woke up sensing Grogu. So there's some sort of connection there. Maybe that's something that's in the lore, the history of Mythosaurs with the Wikipedia or whatever, because there's a bunch of information. I think it's like non-canon stuff, I think, but still, like, I'm pretty sure there may be a connection. So maybe they're trying to tie in some stuff. I'm not sure. So besides all that, I just kind of wish the season was overall better. But this episode was impactful in terms of a lot of great action for sure. Seeing Din kicking ass, taking out all those different guards with the different shields or whatever. Telling it's an R5 or whatever. His droid's like, take out the next one. He kept like grabbing weapons and going crazy, just all by himself, right? And it was really well done. Just seeing all that action go down, it was really, really cool. They did a great job of having Din kick major ass. Then we get to, of course, the battle with him and Moff Gideon. Now, I wasn't sure where this was going to go. Because, see, I've always been kind of under this impression that Moff Gideon is going to be around for the entirety of the show. And then when we heard about the film being announced, that maybe he's going to be a part of that somehow, and maybe he won't. I'm thinking he actually is dead this time. Don't know. But that fight was pretty badass. He was walking around with, especially with his whole entire armor, of course, and his helmet, which was pretty cool. He looked like a version of Vader. You know, he was definitely on that level, and he was kicking ass and taking no prisoners, and he was just going crazy. But he destroyed when he fought Bo-Katan, which is another great fight as well. I was curious how he was going to fight the Darksaber. He destroyed the Darksaber in her hand. She had it in her hand. He grabbed it and squeezed and then, crushed it, right? Almost said crunched it. Crushed it. So the Darksaber's gone. I'm pretty sure it could be repaired. Maybe they're going to try to in season 4. Maybe. I don't know. But I'm assuming we're not going to be just completely ignoring the Mandalore stuff now because Din's off on his own, but that doesn't mean that we can't cut back to Bo-Katan and what's going on in the armor, everything on Mandalore. So I'm assuming we'll see more of that in season 4. Maybe they can repair it. Maybe so. But Moff Gideon is dead. See, I keep saying that because I don't know for sure. Like, look, this guy has escaped stuff before. He's always a sly little guy. And what they introduced in this episode, which Moff Gideon was really pissed off. However, he might not have been completely telling the truth about it. Because when we go through, we first saw this in last week's episode. We saw the tanks of individuals in these tanks. I think we only saw one side of it, but now there's two sides, either side when you walk it through the hallway, the little section of these individuals who all look the same from a distance. So I saw in this episode, I'm like, they all look the same. I just don't know whose face it is, but it's all the same individual. And of course, it's all Moff. It's all clones of Moff Gideon. And he's trying to find some sort of sequence for the Force for these clones of himself so that they could have the Force and create an unstoppable army. And then, of course, take them all out. However, are those the only ones? Could one have survived? That's the question. And I think the answer is, it's probable. I think it's probable, it's possible, whatever, that a clone survived. That maybe Moff Gideon as we know it didn't survive, but a clone survived. Because we just walked away from that. We don't know exactly what occurred. He was really pissed off and he clearly knew something was up. But maybe, just maybe, it's not over, right? Like a clone survived. It's possible. So we had that gigantic fight with all those Mandalorians and all those troopers. It was a cool fight in the sky or whatever. It was badass seeing them flying around, and Bo-Katan flying around with the Darksaber and the armor running, like flying around with their damn hammers and shit, slamming heads and stuff. That was really, really cool. And I thought for a second, I forget his name, but because there's been a lot of speculation about him as well being a spy, but he was flying the Imperial ship or whatever. He was flying it straight down to the hole where Moff Gideon's base has been on Mandalore. He was flying that damn thing. It was on fire all the way down. So I'm guessing you check out all the other ships. They really didn't explain that or show that. I mean, they showed a little bit of destruction on, but like, I'm guessing he took out everything else, and he was just flying it down to the hole. It's like, get out of there, I'm flying it down. And they all, of course, got out, and then Grogu saved Din and Bo-Katan, like that force field, that force shield or whatever, around the fire until it dissipated enough. That was a cool moment. And then, of course, him running around the Praetorian guards, either the Praetorian, the pronunciation of 3 of them, that was pretty intense. And he was just jumping around and shit and using the force. No, you can't have that weapon. That's my weapon. You know, like, you can't have that. I'm like, get out of here. I like how he was just like pushing shit away at times and just like get away. Okay, so let's talk about for a moment the moment of Din making the decision to adopt Grogu. Now, this is something that I think he needed to do. And maybe and I don't think it was an impulse thing. Like, okay, I'm just going to do this just to whatever. I feel like he wanted to do this with their deep connection, that he wanted to adopt Grogu. And in order for him to help Grogu further, because see, Grogu, they're going the route of Grogu is not going to be a Jedi, right? Grogu has the Force. He's heavily deeped and like his whole entire species essentially is, from what we're understanding, because we don't know a lot about the species of Grogu and Yoda. We don't know how deep it is, but we are from the understanding that they are deeply connected to the Force. And we see that. Grogu can't speak, but Grogu can just force push weapons and individuals away and do whatever. I mean, he is very powerful and he's still a baby, right? He can't even speak. That was the cool little thing with him using the IG-12, which IG-11, that's cool. Like, they brought that in terms of him being a, like, officer or whatever of Navarro and protecting the town. But, like, he was like, no, yes, no, yes. So he was able to talk a little bit with that, but now he can't speak on his own. He's still making little noises. So, Din had to make the decision. And now his name is Din. It's Din Grogu. Or Djarin Grogu, I forget which one. I think it was Din Grogu. Anyways, so Grogu is now the son of Din. Like, it's a pretty big thing. He adopted him because that's the only way. Because he's like, well, he can't speak. Because the armor made a good point. I think this was even addressed earlier in the season. The armor is like, he can't speak the Kree. He can't take the Kree. They're not old enough. Like, well, maybe with parents' permission. Sure, okay, I'm gonna adopt Grogu. And they're all like, all their Mandalorians like, really? But it's cool. It was a cool little moment. It was a really cool little moment. He has his house now. Of course, we end with him just chilling, and Grogu's floating a frog, just like in Book of Boba Fett with Luke. There's a lot of questions about, are we ever going to learn more about the species of Yoda Grogu? And I feel like they're never going to address it. I feel like they're never going to give us more information. Because the question is, where do they reside? Where do the species of Yoda and Grogu, like, where do they reside? What are they called? And I feel like it's never going to be answered. I do like the setup in terms of him taking jobs in season 4, like setting up, the future and everything. I think that was Dave Filoni in the back. I think that was Dave in the back of that shot. I didn't expect to see Zeb again. I felt like that was just more of a setup, like he's going to appear at some point in Ahsoka. That was kind of my thinking. I'm surprised there was no setup for Thrawn, but then again, they could have easily went the route of having a bunch of crazy cameos and setup for other stuff, but instead they're like, well, let's just focus on the Mandalorian storyline. But like I said, I wish it was overall better. But anyways, So what you guys think of the episode? I think I pretty much covered everything. I think so. But what you guys think of the episode? I'm curious to know your thoughts. Whatever thoughts you have about the episode, guys, let me know in the comments below. And I'm just waiting for them to announce season 4 at this point. I'm assuming they'll announce it fairly soon. I mean, officially in terms of like production and all that kind of stuff. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out.